Hello and welcome to round 6 of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We're here today with me doing this race with Rich Energy F1. So let's see how we start the race and let's see how we end the race. After yesterday's Monaco Grand Prix, I was superly happy with the results, even though I had again damage.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's 3.7 miles around a lap of Baku City Circuit then, with 7 rights and 13 lefts, giving us a total of 20 corners. Watch out for the safety car today. Incidents are already common on this circuit, and the wet conditions will only make things worse, particularly through the incredibly narrow turn 8. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Lee. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lee lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Hamilton, Sainz, Gasly, Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, and Giovinazzi, Ocon, Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, and Lando Norris, Alesi, Russell, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Okay, so we have a 4 wet race. So basically no pit stops, no nothing. So let's try and keep out of trouble, ain't it, on turn 1. So let's start the race. Right, I ain't even going to bother with overtake yet. I've got to keep my tyres nice and warm.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Yeah, this is going to be vile. I'm struggling already with cold tyres. So I've just got to make sure I don't hit the barriers or sorts. But yeah, this is going to be a race for me. I'm going to struggle in the wet. I'm okay in the dry, but in the wet, my car is built for dry setup only. So my car is going to struggle in the wet. And since it's full wet, it might even go pear-shaped. So I'm hoping that I can at least stay in the top 10. So I get points, like I say, I want points every race, excluding Imola, because that was a failed race. So yeah, downside to the Imola, but
The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now.
Jeff telling us about the rain being here for ages. Maybe if I was doing an 100% race, it go into intermediates and then dry at the end, where my pace would pick up. But like I say, it's a wet race, not very strong in the wet, but you know, we've got to love to learn, what is it, we've got to love to race in the rain, because you don't know what it might bring. So my weakness might become even my greatest strategy, but I'm just putting my foot down now because I want to get everything nice and warm. I just want to get to the grid. I want to get this race over and done with, basically, because I don't like the wet. But no, I'm going to say thank you for the people who do watch these videos. It does mean a lot. And yeah, I have to appreciate every single one of you that do watch these videos. Like I say, comment below if you want to see something different. If you want me to do 10 races or 16 races, or try and find out if I can bring the Chinese Grand Prix into this and take out a couple of races here and there and switch it around. You know, any suggestions to make these career modes more fascinating for people to watch, feel free to leave suggestions. And now we're just forming up now, so I moved a bit too quick for the rest of the field, but like I say, I just want to get this race done and dusted.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
I'm hoping I can, like I say, stay in the top 3. Win the race would be nice, but I don't think I'm going to win the race. I think, what is it, 17 laps or something like that? Maybe 20 at a push, but yeah, it's going to be a good race. I'm looking forward to Belgium more than anything. 11 laps round a 3-mile circuit. 13 laps. Okay, that's even better. That's less laps to do. Right, I've got a good getaway. Oh, a bit of wheel spin now, but I've got away.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Now that is what you call a very good start. So I'm enjoying that. Right. I have underfueled my car a little bit, but that's because I want to get a little bit faster in the first part of this race. I can fuel save around the circuit because it's wet. So I'm going to be burning less energy, less fuel. So I'm not even going to bother with my ERS until the very back straight onto the start-finish line. So yeah, that's where I'm going to use all my battery in this race. Gain it round the circuit because it is a slow circuit in the wet. Like I said, I do prefer dry racing more than wet, but I try and keep these circuits with the realistic weather because, like I say, it might throw up a spanner in the works, but I do enjoy racing games. I like FIFA. I used to like PES, I'll say, but FIFA was my main game I played. Talk about games I like to play as well. I was on the PS2 Football Manager. Oh well, LMA Manager. PC had it for Football Manager, which I have played. I played the 07 version on PC. I also had the 07 game for the Xbox 360. But LMA Manager was better because you could, in 04, create your own team. I'll create a team as such with a stadium that you want to pick. And then you pick the players, which was superb. I wish Codemasters would bring that game back actually, to rival Football Manager for consoles, because I know the Xbox and PlayStation would thrive with LMA Manager. So yeah, that's one Football Manager game I would do videos on, and I would really play the heart out of that game.
We're accumulating some wear on the MG-UK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
Jeff's telling me about engine wear, right? I'm expecting engine wear all throughout this, but Canada, hopefully it'll be dry and I can have a good race in Canada when I get to that circuit. Out of all the street circuits, Azerbaijan is one of my favourite circuits to be on in the dry, not in the wet, but in the dry. And Bottas has soon closed up to me. Jeez, he's good. He's either good or I'm either too slow, so yeah. He might be a bit of both. It might be a little bit slow, but he might be using a lot of ERS. So in these 13 laps he might be slower coming to the end of the race. But I am trying to keep the wheel spin down so I don't lose the back end. So yeah, like I say, Lifecom and racing is... I'm getting used to it now and it's getting a little bit better. But again, the wheel spin is just unrealistic. You know what I mean? I'm using the controller, not the steering wheel and foot pedal, so I've got traction control on as well, so I shouldn't be really wheel spinning as much as I am. It is quite shocking. He stuck his nose in them, Bottas did. He's lucky I didn't clip him when he clipped me. But like I say, he might be using ERS. Unless the Mercedes engine is actually faster than the engine I'm using myself. And I can't remember if I'm using Ferrari. I think I'm using Ferrari engines. I think that's what it said at Imola, I was using that, so yeah. I didn't do a video of my creating this team because it would have been a small video and I know Arava likes to talk about his career mode when he's with my team. PC, he's able to mod liveries on and make the car look superb, and I can't fault him. Same with Ben, he does the same. And I say, yeah, PC have got the luxury of having liveries with real life sponsors. I think this game would benefit for console players, a bit like how Forza and Gran Turismo have people who customise liveries with real life sponsors, and you can copy that livery onto your car. I would love to see that actually happen on here. So for console players, you could actually have real life liveries and real life sponsors, because the community would band together on the game, and Cody's and EA would make a killing for the game for console players to have modern day liveries. Because imagine having a Porsche livery on your car, or like me, Rich Energy style livery. I would say the old school Sauber team from say 1998, 1999, the sky blue with the Patronus green teal colour. That was superb. You know, like Stewart F1 as well, with Jackie Stewart's team, Prost or Liger with their liveries. My old team, my old career mode. Midland F1, which was in 2006, that took the reins of Jordan, that became later Racing Point, and then became Aston Martin. Oh, I forgot to say Force India as well, because it was Jordan, Midland, Spiker, then it was Force India, Racing Point, Aston Martin, in the way it came. But again, some of the Lola F1 livery was brilliant, especially for the 1997 season or 98 season that they didn't run in, when they had the MasterCard blue and orange with a tint of red. That was lovely, and I love that livery, and I did try to replicate it on here to my best of my ability with the limited liveries you've got to do. And yeah, I thought I enjoyed that. But for me, I enjoy...
Heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain.
Alright, Jeff again telling me about 20 minutes of rain, and I don't need it because it then puts me out my trailer force. But yeah, like I say, limited what we can do on here for console players, and I'm still surprised that people can still make some cool liveries. So yeah, fair play to them. I try to keep it as basic as possible, because I know the colour schemes I want, but the way I want them, they're not on the game. Where last year's game, we had a lot more liveries to play with, and they was lovely. And this year, it's very, very dulled back for the liveries, helmets, and overalls. Another thing I liked though was the Ayrton Senna Prost in 2019. You know, you could have Prost's helmet or Senna's helmet. Last year we had Michael Schumacher and his 5 helmets or 6 helmets he had to choose from. This year they've put the racers in, the legendary racers, without their helmets and without the player face. You know, Michael Schumacher's face, Ayrton Senna's face or Prost's face for your driver.
We're leading our teammate by 18.1 seconds.
And they haven't done that. They haven't done it this year. I don't know why. Is it because of copyrights? Haven't they got the license to do it anymore? Has EA banned Cody's to do that because EA own Cody's? There's a lot of background. There's a lot of background interference, I would say, coming from EA on Cody's about the game, because when we had online in 2018, the DLC for the game was every couple of weeks or couple of months they would bring out new liveries, and they wouldn't be cheap either. They would be quite expensive for bundles, like £5 for a Christmas one, the Halloween one, and all that. And even though there's some nice liveries on there, people wouldn't pay the prices that they was asking. So last year, Cody's released all the liveries with in-game currency, or use real money to get some of the in-game currency, a bit like GTA with shark cards, and I think that's amazing. But this year we have been very much let down by the livery releases, and they keep recycling the catalogue over and over, which I find very disrespectful in a way, because we pay our money for this game and they're not giving us what we want as a community that play the game. And I think that EA have really dulled down on Cody's to release it all. So, you know, I could be wrong, but that's the way I look at it, and I think a lot of people are thinking the same as me. And to be slapped in the face with just mediocre releases is just diabolical. And Bottas is keeping me honest in this race on a brighter note though, so as I'm talking and racing, it's not as bad as it has been in the last few races. But like I say, in general this game is amazing in certain parts, and it's a letdown on the liveries. I don't really mind about the helmets too much, because I use one helmet that is similar to my favourite driver, Ayrton Senna. So I'll just use the same helmet over and over. But, you know, I don't know. I think EA have stirred the pot a little bit too much with Cody's. And Cody's have not had the freedom to do what they wanted to do like they did last year. So if EA do watch this and listen to this, I think they need to let Cody's have free reign, and let Cody's do what Cody's do best with Formula 1. Let them be creative, let them be what there was last year before they got brought by EA. So yeah. But it's Wednesday. Nearly the weekend for everybody. So yeah, Thursday I'm gonna buy another PlayStation pad, because I need a microphone that actually works inside the pad when playing certain games like this, when I'm not doing recordings, where I can actually have Jeff through the pad instead of through the TV. So yeah, but Bottas is still on. Now if we had DRS, Bottas would be overtaking me all the while, because I've
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so
and
far.
I've got the fastest lap of the race, even though I've got purple, green, green. How does that one work?
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
That's because he's been using all his ERS, you see, and I've been saving mine. Even though I've had issues with Jeff saying there's certain wears and tears on the engine units and power units and all that, but yeah, I've got to love it. I am hoping to do a Gran Turismo split screen race with my partner, who is an Epic Racing fan. She has Forza 5, and for me, I think Forza is more of an arcade style game, where Gran Turismo and Formula 1 are sim racing games. But in all fairness, I think it should be a great race. And Bottas decides to brake check me, and that is just stupidly ridiculous. He brake checks me into the corner when he should have been braking here. He broke a little bit too early, braking my front wing. Again, I'm not having that. I ain't having it. The game brake checks you at the wrong time, so you run into the back of them. if the game wants to dive bomb, then bloody dive bomb, not just dive bomb and then slam the anchors on, because that's not proper racing. But going back to what I was saying about my partner, hopefully we can do split screen and it'll be a good race. I'm thinking either Monza, because she knows Monza, she did a bit of Formula 1 with me last year, on last year's game, and that, when split screen became a thing. So hopefully, or was it this year? I can't remember. It's been a while since I played last year's game. So yeah. But yeah, like I say, I might do Monza. I might do Austria. There is Suzuka. And there is Le Mans, which I do like to drive around. But it depends what circuit she wants to do, because I like some of the circuits on Gran Turismo more than other circuits. But yeah, he's coming down the inside of me. I just closed the door. He hit me. He actually hit me. I think he's lost a bit of front wing. I took the racing line, and I did, you know, I did take the racing line properly, and it was fair. But now Bottas is now going to be pitting, and yeah, I think I might have a bit more of an advantage now if he can slow everybody else down, and that will mean then I can get further away from the pack. I wish this race would have been wet intermediate or intermediate to dry to mix it up a little bit, because I think it would have been more fun. But yeah. Also, I need to look into doing some Minecraft with my partner as well, and try and start a series with her, because it needs to be done. She won't. I don't know if Mike on Xbox and Mike on PlayStation cross over. I know the game cross platforms, but I'm not sure if the audio does, because that would be an interesting audio. But in all fairness, we'll cross that bridge when we come to doing Minecraft. She's the one that does Sonic Racing with me and Crash Racing with me when she's online, because she has both consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. But she's after the new Xbox series, and I'm after the PS5. But I haven't got a PS5 yet, because apparently there's a few issues with it, and I know it's been
The gap behind us is 6.8 seconds.
Yeah, it was released a year ago, and there's been issues with some of the consoles. I know Sony have been trying to sort it for the last year.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So my fuel shortage I did at the beginning of the race has now rectified itself. So yeah, it's a plus for me. I don't have to worry about fuel. Thank you, Jeff. But yeah, I'm enjoying this race. Apart from Bottas brake checking me. But he was faster, but then like I said, he was using a lot of ERS to catch me. And I was saving it for certain laps. I wasn't using it every lap, because it wouldn't have caught up. It wouldn't have built up to be used over multiple laps. So I've been using it sparingly, which is a bonus. And since I've got over a 10-second gap, I don't have to worry about going too fast into corners and braking myself. And a purple second sector without using any ERS is interesting when I've got a red first sector. More pardon me. So yeah, I'm now just going to use overtake all the way down here of ERS. I don't think I'll get under 2 minutes, but I'll have a go. No, just over 2 minutes. That'll do, mate.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
Careful with the rear end. Keeps one in step.
Gap to teammate behind is 29.6 seconds.
Yeah, my teammate, he's not going to get any points this season, I don't think. But I'm going to stick with Valacy again like I did originally with my Midland and Lola career mode, when it was just 5 laps. This time I'm doing commentary at 25% distance, as you know. So I'm going to stick with him to at least season 3. Because I did like John Alacy, his dad. Like I did with Max Verstappen's dad, Josh Verstappen. You know, talented drivers. However, Alacy had a bit more successful career than Josh did. But, you know, like I said in yesterday's video, when you don't have the car behind you, you don't have the team supporting you, and you get kicked to the curb to be a test driver, you know, it is a kick in the teeth for most drivers. But when Josh did come back and he did well with what he had to do with the cars he had, you know, at the end of the day that was it. But Alacy was lucky. He had consistency. He had a bit of a team behind him, and he was really good with Sauber. And yeah. Well, I'm enjoying Max Verstappen's
There's
race.
4 laps of fuel remaining.
I've been enjoying Max Verstappen's races this season, where he's, like I say, winning the championship. And I hope he does beat Lewis Hamilton to the pit, because at the end of the day, Lewis is a good driver for what he's been doing over the last couple of years. But for me, it was like when Vettel was winning 4 years in a row, Schumacher 7 years in a row. Well, actually, Schumacher did 2 with Benetton. Then he did, I think it was like 5 with... Yeah, 5 with Ferrari, back to back in the end. And
The turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum.
yeah, like I was saying, Schumacher doing what he did, you know, at the end of the day, Mick Hakkinen won two back to back. Alonso won 2 back to back. And that's the way the cars was back then, you know. It was different racing to what it is today with hybrids. I mean, like I say, without no refueling, it is a different kettle of fish. But like I say, Vettel won 4 with the refueling in place, and he had the team behind him, and Christian Horner built a very good Red Bull car, and he's done it again this year. So, you know, the upgrades they've put on the car, it's playing out for him. Yeah, this is one of the best entertaining career modes, or career races between Lewis and Max. The championship's going to go down to the wire, and it's entertaining to watch. It just reminds me of Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen, and that's what you want to see. Like that with Schumacher and Alonso in 2005 and 2006. It's what people want to see. They want to see a championship rivalry. They want to see great racing. They don't want predictable race winners where it's win with the one team. There's no enjoyment. But now, you know, when Red Bull fell from grace a little bit, when the cars wasn't going their way and the development wasn't going their way, and, you know, Mercedes dominance, car grumble with it. They did well to get 7 back-to-back or 6 back-to-back wins. Well, 7 because of Rosberg, but, you know, you can't grumble at that. And people who are moaning about it's unfair for these teams and these teams, well, next year every car's getting a reset. The rules are getting changed. And in, I think it was 2023 or 2024, I believe, I might be wrong. It might be even 2026, but Porsche might be coming into this.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, Porsche are going to come into this Grand Prix. Porsche were an engine manufacturer in the 80s, 70s and that. You follow the Porsche engineering team of an engine. They've been in the sport, but then they left the sport because it was just too pricey. It's like Renault when they left in, I believe it was after 97, 98, 99. Mecha Crown was the name of the Renault engine, in-house built, and a lot of teams ran that. I'd like to see Ford back on the grid, because Ford powered Stewart, Jaguar, and so forth with them teams in the 90s and 2000s, and I can't grumble with that. It'd be nice to see Toyota back on the grid, but I don't think they're going to do it because it's not cost efficiency for them. Hence why Honda have pulled out and Red Bull are building their own Honda in-house engines. Even though it's going to be a Honda unit of sorts, it's going to be under, I think it's going to be called a Red Bull engine, or whatever they want to call it for next year. But at least Honda is sticking with Red Bull.
These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall.
Like I was going to say, at least Red Bull were going to Honda was going to stick with Red Bull, so they've got a winning engine for the years to come. And when Honda do want to come back into the sport again, they won't have to worry about going behind many years of what they did with McLaren when they had, what was it, like 9 years out or something like that, and they had to try and catch up with 9 years work. It was impossible. But if they stay with Red Bull like they are doing, hopefully in 6 years time Honda come back and they can prove to be a force to be dealt with, I'll support them all the way. Mercedes have had multiple championships, I'd say, because McLaren 98, 99 were McLaren Mercedes, hence why they were silver. And now McLaren have got Mercedes engines again. I hope to see that the orange car will actually be on the top step at some point, because they've had a run of bad luck really. And that's when Hamilton left, and they fell from grace.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
They fell from grace when Mercedes didn't want to, when McLaren they wanted Mercedes engines, and they chose to go with Honda, and Honda was lacking the power. And then they went back to Mercedes, and now they're doing well again. Car grumble. Teams up and down the field struggle with engines. BMW would be another good source of engines again to come back into the franchise of Formula 1, because they have had multiple successes with wins after win with Williams in 2001 to 2005 or 4, and then Sauber in 2005 or 2006 when Kubica won. And I'll just won the race. And that's why I'm only one
Great
flashback
job.
used.
You've done everything we wanted today.
Yeah, that was superb. One flashback used, like I was saying. So, car grumble at that, and Lando Nice, driver of the day. Fair play, Lando.
And so ends another Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a fascinating race and a well-deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula 1. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
I can say that Max Verstappen retired. I don't actually know how he retired. But then again, I don't look at the replay cameras. So, yeah.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
I'd say the aero was better.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
I'll say that answer.
How do you feel the competition is for you this season?
I'll say that one.
How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today?
It did strange. It did change the strategies because I'm used
Great.
to doing a one
Well,
stop.
that's everything.
But doing 13 laps just consistently was just brilliant. Nearly acclaim level 10. I'm loving it. Right, let's see if this has gone on. Yeah, it has. Right, activities. Oh, I missed the activities. It's only a couple of things. 1.8, I can't do anything there. 1.5 on that. Let's have a look if I can do anything on the chassis. I can, but it's going to be expensive. Dampeners? I'll try oh no. Is anything being built? Oh yeah, that's being built. Okay, aero, rear. Do you know what? I'll do the rear one. Pistons would be an ideal one. ECU, I can't do ECU. Oh, I haven't got enough points for that. And I can afford. Ooh, turbo. Cheap for the turbo. Okay, I'll do them. Right, I'm going to say, as I always say, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, hit the bell for notifications for daily uploads on this channel. And until the next one, I will say thank you very much and bye for now.